Hello, and thank you very much for joining me today. We are going to be doing a lab in which we're going to be making DNA strands using candy. So I hope that you're ready and you have all of your supplies. So here are the supplies that you will need for this lab of making DNA with candy. So you're going to need gummy bears, some toothpicks, some dental floss, and I got 1 pack of rainbow Twizzlers because you need to have at least 2 colors. I usually get licorice, but instead of buying 2 packages of licorice, one in one color and one in a separate color, I just bought 1 package of the rainbow Twizzlers, and it's really important that they have a hole in the middle. Whatever you end up getting, just make sure that it has that hole because we are going to need that. All right. Now you don't necessarily need to go out and buy all this stuff. You might have toothpicks and floss at home already, but I did go out and get all this stuff and it was only about $12 total. So I hope that you can pick up most of the stuff and you can follow along and do the lab at home as I show you how it's done. Okay, so we're going to be starting our lab, and the most important thing before you start the lab is to make sure that the area in which you're going to be working is nice and clean. Okay, so make sure that your surfaces are clean and that your hands have been cleaned before you start this activity. Okay, so it's really important that you do the pre-lab first because this is what you're going to be basing your model off of. So according to mine, I have my blue color as my deoxyribose sugar, and that is what my gummy bears or my nitrogen bases are going to be connected to. So here I have my blue Twizzlers and my yellow Twizzlers, and whichever one you have as the deoxyribose sugar, you're going to have 2 of those. Okay, so you only need 2 strands, and make sure that they have that hole in them. Okay, it's really important that you can string the floss through there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is cut each one of these colors into 12 equal pieces. So you're going to have 12 pieces of blue and 12 pieces of yellow. Okay. You're going to want to open all of them up. Okay. Need to be open. Okay, so remember that your DNA strand is going to be 6 nucleotides long, which means you're going to have 12 total, okay, for each color. So you have, and they want to be close to the same shape. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One color and 12 in another color. Okay, it doesn't really matter the 2 colors as long as you keep them separated. So make sure that you have a hole that you can get the dental floss through on both ends of each piece. Okay, so then you're going to take 2 pieces of dental floss. So one, I want to make it pretty decently long. 1 piece and 2 pieces. And you're going to start stringing your sugars. So this is my sugar, deoxyribose sugar, and then phosphate. Sugar and phosphate. So you're going to want to do that until you have 6 pieces of each color on each piece of dental floss. So I have 6 pieces of yellow and 6 pieces of blue on 1 piece of dental floss. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other piece of dental floss. So there they are. Those are my sugar phosphate backbones, sugar phosphate. And our dental floss is going to be a specific kind of bond. You can remember what type of bond our dental floss represents. It will be on your quiz. So make sure that you know what it is. Okay, now I'm going to be taking my other types of bond, and I'm going to need 6 of these types of bonds. You can remember what type of bonds these are. And these bonds are going to go between my nitrogen bases or my gummy bears. And I'm going to just do whatever I have right here. So I'm just going to do the first 6 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so those are going to be the 6 pairs that I do. So I'm going to do A with T, C with G, T with A, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get my gummy bears all lined up here. And then I'm going to connect them with a bond. So I have A with T. So A with T, bonded together, my 2 bases. All right. And then I have C and G. And I'm just going to keep on putting my bases together. And now it says, the very last question on my pre-lab, based on my answer to number 2, what color Twizzler are my gummy bears going to be attached to? So it's the blue Twizzlers. So I'm going to stick my toothpicks into my blue Twizzlers on each side. There we go. So now you can clearly see that I have my bases on my sugars, and that every other between each sugar is a phosphate. And now the very last thing to do, pretty much done with our models now. Pretty much last thing to do here is tie the 2 ends together. Tie both ends. Okay, so you've done it. You've made your DNA structure out of candy, and if you give it a little twisteroo, it'll look almost like a double helix. See that? Fun. Okay, make sure that you post some pictures of you making your DNA, and maybe even twisting it, making it look like a double helix. It's so fun and cool. And then you can eat it when you're done. It's good. Now, if you kept everything clean, you can definitely eat these DNA models. However, just make sure that you're careful of the toothpicks and that you wash your hands after, because it's quite sticky. I hope that you enjoyed, and I really hope that you got to make one at home as well.